There we go.
We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the City of Kerrville Planning and Zoning Commission. And we'll start off with a roll call. Dorothy?
Rustin Zuber,
Here.
Trisha Byram,
Here.
David Jones,
Here.
Bill Morgan, Bob Waller, Garrett Harmon. Thank you.
Thank you. We only have 3, but we do have a quorum. And we'll start off with item number 1A, approval of the minutes from the May 2nd, 2019 meeting. After y'all have had a chance to look at those, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 3-0. Thank you. Okay, second item, consideration and final action. Rebecca.
So this is item 2A. It's for Kerrville Independent School District for the middle school preliminary plat for Hal Peterson. The preliminary plat of new Hal Peterson Middle School is subdivision containing approximately 35.05 acre tract of land out of the Samuel Wallace survey number 114, abstract number 348, and the S. Wallace survey number 113, abstract number 347 within the city of Kerrville, Kerr County, Texas, generally located adjacent to State Highway Loop 534, case 2019-032. So since the plat was shown, or preliminary plat was in the packet, we do have one minor change on there, and that's in reference to the private sanitary sewer line that was shown. We discovered that the comment was supposed to be made for the lot itself, and there was an assumption that there may be a private sanitary sewer on the lot. In reality, the sanitary sewer is a public line on Loop 534, so we did need to update that from private to public. So that is the one modification that we've had that is different from what appeared in the packet. Staff recommends approval. If you have any questions, I am available.
Are we approving preliminary and final today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I was wondering about that.
And that's to speed up the process, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, both are ready today, and that's why they're both on the agenda. We have the action on the preliminary plat first, followed by the final plat.
Okay.
It is a one-lot subdivision, so that also makes it easier versus a larger area. There is an interlocal agreement between the City of Kerrville and KISD, and that is in regards to the infrastructure, and that is that the plat can move ahead prior to the infrastructure being completed.
Okay.
And that was approved by council in April.
Questions?
I don't have any.
No, I don't.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary plats as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you. Now, 2B,
Right.
final plat.
So consideration and action of a final plat of the new Hal Peterson Middle School, a subdivision containing approximately 35.05 acre tract of land out of the Samuel Wallace survey number 114, abstract number 348, and the Samuel Wallace survey number 113, abstract number 347, within the city of Kerrville, Kerr County, Texas, generally located adjacent to State Highway Loop 534. File number 2019-036. This one, we also had some minor modifications since it appeared in the packet, and I wanted to call those out to you all. We updated note 6. Originally it said within Kerr County. The property was approved for annexation on the second reading at City Council on May 28th. So that note will update to City of Kerrville. We also updated note 7 to the date of the preliminary plat approval. Originally it said May, today we're in June, so we switched that. We updated note 8 to reference the correct file number, which is 2019-036. We also added the City of Kerrville to the 20-foot wide water line easement that loops around on the lot. We removed proposed storm channel on the plat, and those were just 2 notes that were on there. It is still shown on the preliminary plat, but it does not need to be shown in the final plat. And we inserted the county clerk's signature block for recording. The plat meets all requirements of our subdivision ordinance, and staff recommends approval.
Any questions or comments? The main difference between the preliminary and final is the amount of information and then the signature blocks on the final.
That's correct, yes. The preliminary plat shows a lot more information, and it includes a lot more regarding drainage.
Okay.
I move we approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Right in. Motion carries. Very easy. Thank you. Okay. Item 3A, you want to explain that one? And we have a public hearing on that one.
We do, and this is item 3A, public hearing consideration and action of a replat and amending plat of a 0.41 acre of land, more or less, out of the PR Oliver Survey number 122, abstract number 265 in the City of Kerrville, Kerr County, Texas, being all of lots 20, 21, and 22, and Block 1 of Elm Creek subdivision, recorded in Volume 5, page 182 of the plat records of Kerr County, Texas, generally located at 238, 300, and 304 Crestwood Drive, file number 2019-033. So the plat shows that the reason we're doing a public hearing is because the original plat showed the 0 lot and the 10-foot side setback easements going from the left side of the lot, so the 10-foot easement on the left side of the lot, and now it's moving to the right side of the lot. And that was spurred because there is a sanitary sewer line on lot 22R that was not shown in the original plat, and that sanitary sewer line would have been right beneath the 0 lot. So the building could have been placed on top of that sewer line. And as city doesn't like to have sewer lines running under buildings, the request is made that we preserve that in the easement, and then that switch the 0 lot line, this 10-foot setback from one side to the other. And the property owner was in agreement to do that. You'll also note that there is a house on the middle lot that is currently built over the lot line, so that would also be correcting that situation. And then lot 20R, which is the 238 Crestwood, would have the easement on both sides of the property to retain that separation with the neighboring property. The plat meets all requirements and staff recommends approval. I am available to answer any questions before or after the public hearing.
Is the house built on the lot line or on the easement line?
It is on the lot line.
Yeah, it looks like it's over the line.
Is the property line being moved?
That one, yes, it would be, along with
And the easement is moved? Okay.
Yeah, but we will maintain a 10-foot separation between all buildings, and those are recorded on the plat. The sanitary sewer easement would be 13.5. That would meet the requirement of a minimum 7.5 for that sewer line.
The sewer line is where now?
It runs.
Let's start talking about the lot
sewer line
numbers.
is on this lot line.
Okay. On which, on the,
That's 22R, which is 304 Crestwood,
okay,
and that's on the right side. There's also a line on the rear going, it's a 20-foot easement with a manhole on the back.
okay. So you're moving it over and you're going to be right on the lot line. The house now is going to be on the,
The existing house at 300 Crestwood would be on the lot line, which is similar to everything else.
on the left-hand or the southwest side, right?
Looking at the lot, it would be the right side. No, it's
No,
the
the left
left
side.
side. They're right. It's the left side, yes.
Basically just shifting that easement from one side to the other to
Right.
And move the lot line to,
This lot 20 gets the buildable area does get smaller.
It does, since there would be easements on both sides. And within the RC district, the residential cluster, it does meet the minimum lot size,
Of,
4,500 square feet. But it's more than that. It's a little less than 6,000. I think it's 5,600 square feet,
so that makes the other one
larger.
larger than that. That's the smallest lot. the-
Basically,
the
they took 4
204.
feet from that lot to give it to the other one.
Yes, okay.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 4:41. Anyone who wishes to speak on this, please approach the podium and state your name and address.
I'm Don Volk, I'm the one that prepared the plat for the Newports. If y'all have any questions, you've pretty much gone over everything. We've moved that house over, it was only 3.64 or something feet over, but when they owned all 3 lots, it didn't matter, but now we're moving the lot line to where it's right down that house. So,
so is all 3 lots owned by one person?
yes,
And
Well,
they're gonna, but now they're sell 2?
Right.
Or, one person owns all 3 lots?
well, a couple does. It's
Okay.
a man and his husband, a husband and wife.
Okay.
They own all 3 lots.
Okay.
With one house in the middle, so we're just moving the house, the property line over to match 3.64 or whatever it was.
And the house is for sale, but the 2
Yes.
lots aren't.
No, I think it's all for sale.
Oh,
The
okay.
new property line is the edge of the house.
Right, we put the property line 3.64, I think is what it is, to line up at the edge of the house and then put the 10-foot on the other side of it, when there wasn't a 10-foot there before. And then we put the 10-foot on the right side of the house lot, so that the person that builds to the 0 lot line, and, you know, because the 10-foot was on the other side, but there's a 13-foot sewer easement. The sewer line was always there, just they didn't put an easement there when they platted it. So we're kind of fixing that and fixing the house and just making everything so they can sell
You
them
knew
all
that.
separately.
You need that.
So if you have any other questions,
Pretty simple. Thank you. All right, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 4:43. Any other questions or comments?
I don't have
Entertain a
any.
motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the replat as presented.
Motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor, show by your raised right hand. Passes 3-0. Thank you. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, item 4, staff report.
So we're continuing with our code update. We held a public meeting, open house, I didn't put the date, I think it was May 16th, and that was at the Diedert Center. We had about 60 people attend. It was lower turnout than what we've had for the open house for the comprehensive plan, but since the technical nature of that zoning code, we did expect to see a drop in attendance. And CRC, the Code Review Committee, is meeting today, right now. That's why Drew's not here. He's attending that meeting instead. And they are reviewing that final draft, taking into consideration those public comments. And then we hope to have a recommendation to bring to you at the next meeting to be on June 20th.
And you and I talked about, we're gonna get a copy before the meeting, right, to review?
So I talked to Drew about that. He was saying we will give you all the link in the agenda. And if you do want a physical copy, we can provide those upon request. We just don't want to make copies and then nobody wants them. I also forgot to show you this slide. If you want to see the work of the Code Review Committee, it is available on, the link is right off of the City of Kerrville webpage, homepage, so kerrvilletx.gov, and it's that slideshow, and all you do is click on the link, and then you can find all the information that was presented at the public meeting, as well as that CRC has considered. And then that's where we plan to link the final draft that's recommended to Planning and Zoning Commission. So, do y'all have any questions about that? I'll move on to the next announcement.
Will the code review committee's work go before the council on the 25th? Is that right?
That's the anticipated date. We have posted that in the paper that it would go for June 25th. But that is contingent if it's recommended through Planning and Zoning Commission first.
I was about to say that puts a lot of heat on us, and it's going to be a rather large and comprehensive report.
So if we table it or something, that's gonna move all that back, right?
It would have to, yeah.
That's why I wanted to get an advanced copy as much as possible.
We're on the same page, yeah.
So it is available online, and we don't anticipate too many changes
not
from
available
that
right
draft.
The final copy's not available right now.
No, because they're still reviewing it right now.
So we're gonna have just a few days to review it, really.
Okay.
Yeah. So we also held a public meeting, open house style, for the Doyle Community Center, or Doyle Community Area Plan, and that was on May 30th. And we also had a good turnout with that meeting, a lot of good comments from folks in the neighborhood or folks that are invested in the neighborhood. And our second meeting is planned for later this summer, either this month or next month. And a final vision framework for implementation strategies should be presented in the fall. So that's the end of my staff report.
I see we have a vacancy. It would look an alternate.
We did.
Okay.
I don't know if it's been filled. It's for an alternate.
I didn't know he. Down or
But
whatever
part
it
of
is.
the review committee's gonna expand us to 7 members, is that correct? Activity? That's what's.
That's
So
one of the recommendations in the zoning code.
So that'll happen as soon as they vote on it, as soon as council votes on it?
It would depend on the effective date of the chapter.
Okay.
Once it comes into our code of ordinances, typically there's about 30 days to get that in. Yeah,
We would not have a quorum right now.
Yeah, right.
not today.
So are we gonna have, is it gonna be 7 members and 2 alternatives then?
No alternates,
I
right?
think it's just 7 straight members.
So we'll always have to come up
4.
with 4 at least.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
You have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, so moved.
Second.
We're adjourned.
Slam down.
All right. Well, that was the quickest meeting we've ever had.